Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming into another video. All right. So, yeah, I feel pretty good. Been manic these last 24 hours in regards to my friend KT, and just, wanted to kind of communicate with her this morning. Left a book there in my IG letting her know that, some things on my mind, and just how I want to understand a little bit better where she's at. I know she's been through a lot. I've been through a lot this year, and I just want to have a better understanding of where we are. And I wanted to describe where I'm at and what it is I want for my future in regards to her, what it is that I won't be pleased with going forward, that kind of thing. And I just think communication is what is missing a lot of times when you deal with people. Sometimes it's just easier to not communicate for whatever reasons, and maybe that's what got us this far. It's the comfort of not having to communicate, but I'm reaching a different space in my faith, a different space in my life, and I want to be respected a certain way, and if not, then I want to be moving on from the type of energy that I feel is disrespect, no matter who it's coming from, whether it be people I love the most or just friends or just acquaintances. I don't really have a whole lot of tolerance for what I perceive as that, and that's what I felt like I had been getting without getting into too much detail. But at the end of the day, man, we all got to cope and heal and deal with ourselves. She's been through a lot. I've been through a lot. And what I don't want is to manically, and I don't know if that's a word, but in a manic way, make brash decisions about my friendship with her based on ego and trauma and all different types of things that have been in my life these last 2 weeks. I tell you, man, the trauma of what's going on in Gaza, which is continuing to be horrible, has really affected me in that way. It's just taken my mind to a different place. It's made it so that I've needed to see things that I probably should never have seen in my life. And because of it, I just have a different perspective on my life. And I think that it's really affected me. And I'd imagine it's affected the mental health of everybody who's really been seeing it, man. Truthfully, the babies and everything that just is constant. And the whole point of view for me is to speak up and speak out. And I feel like the enemy, the devil himself, has been attacking me by way of K because of those conversations I've been having on this channel about Gaza, about Israel, and all of that. I really genuinely believe that, and I've said it a couple of times. So what I'm trying to do is burn all bridges that the enemy has to reach me. I'm trying to win this battle against every bit of evil in my life, and I felt like my friend Karen has been a source from which the enemy has been able to hurt me by her pain and what she's going through and how she reacts to it, and then from there how I react to her reacting to her pain. And this is yet another application of that. And so I love my friend very much. I would love for our friendship to grow, and I don't want the enemy to win that battle at all. I don't want him to continue to use her, because I know she has a special relationship with God that she's going to continue to cultivate. And as she does, she may be able to reach some heights that maybe I can't even reach, and we can help one another if we already have in certain things. But she's still in a space where she's younger than me, much younger, 28 or something like that. And she's still dabbling in certain things that I know the enemy will allow her to be touched by. And as a result, if I'm close to her, he's going to be able to get me that way. And that's ultimately what it is. That's exactly what it is. But, I'm in a space where I'm like, man, I don't want to be hurt by nobody. I've done a good job of keeping myself out of relationships, out of circumstances that would allow me to face distractions. And I'm not up for being disrespected or being discarded of. In previous relationships I've been in, it felt to me that the women I dealt with in certain cases could care less if I were either there or not. They were inconsistent in that way. Sometimes I get treated like a king, other time I get treated like I don't exist. And I know a lot of it has to do with what the competition is in regards to men and money and various different things. And so for me, it's like I respect that women have a lot to deal with out there and a lot of options, and just like men do. But I'm wired a certain way to where I have my own culture. I do my own thing. I define my own strength, and I'm still growing within that. So, I'm not wired like a lot of other people, throw their money at women and then not communicate. I'm very open, and I am willing to share, but I don't really have a lot. So it's like in this world, I'm not even supposed to be dating. I'm not even supposed to have a girlfriend, and for which I don't. But, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like, I don't subscribe to that. I know what I deserve. I believe that I'm growing as a human being, and that holds a lot more weight to me than a lot of other stuff. And I'm going to use my voice for the betterment of trying to defeat the devil, especially when he's attacking children specifically. And given the fact that I was a child left unsafe, I think a lot of that also has to do with how I'm perceiving some of this that I'm faced with in regards to her too. You know, the earliest energy I've ever had was a woman betraying me, you know what I mean? Truthfully. The earliest memories I ever had was a woman mistreating me with demonic energy. So I'm sensitive to that as well, and I just don't want it in my life. If I'm not going to be loved, and it's only going to be set me up to let me down type of energy, I can cut that off at any minute. And so that's what I'm trying to understand. I want to know where she's at. If she values me in a certain way, that's what I want it to be. If she only wants me at a certain distance, I need that defined. And so that's what my conversation's about, and I hope that she was able to receive that. I left a long book, so I don't expect her to read it right away or maybe even today, but I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not deleting it. I'm not going to unsend any of that, you know, because at the end of the day, I've been meditating a lot, and you just got to tell people what you feel, man. You could try to tiptoe around other people's feelings to help you figure out what, you know, is best for them, but at the end of the day, if nobody's doing that for you, you're going to be left on the wrong end of that. And that's kind of what it is. Like, I've been tiptoeing a lot around her, but ain't nobody checking on me. And so at least that's how I perceive it. And I gotta revert back to checking on me, to make sure I'm good, man, to make sure I'm not spiraling, to make sure I'm not removing my focus from the things that are most passionate to me in this camera, to get back to talking about her again, because I defeated that. And now I was talking about things that matter more in regards to Gaza, and using my voice for things that can help more people than just myself and her. So that's what it is, man. I think the devil tries to distract me. We were really deep into what we were doing with these therapy sessions in regards to Gaza. And then, of course, he does what he does and pulls you away from that. But I want y'all to know that my focus has to be on using my voice for things that matter beyond me. And if I'm going to leave a legacy at all, or if I'm going to have some kids or have a family in my life, I want that to be our legacy, that Brandon was someone who stood up for what was right. And so, amongst other things, of course, that ain't the only thing, but that's one of the most important things about having a voice, in my opinion, is especially in this shallow world, in these shallow times. He's doing something of substance, saying something of substance, bringing something to the table that people can use. And that's why I wanted to go left while everybody else is going right, looking for views and numbers and money and attention and trying to push out sex and all that. I could very easily do that too, but it doesn't feel right to me. Just like doing what I do doesn't feel right to most. And so that's why I am who I am, and I respect me. And I want to be respected, you know what I mean, by the people that I am most close to. And I want to be respected in a way that doesn't have money attached to that definition. And unfortunately, in this world, it's very difficult to find that. But I'm moving forward in understanding that the love that I have deserves to be respected. The love that I bring to the table in that particular friendship deserves to be fought for, deserves to be cherished, and deserves to be protected. And so that's what I'm saying to y'all. I don't feel like it's been that these last couple of days, and it hurt. It hurt bad, but people got to do what they do. People are in their own level of maturity. As I've been, you've got to see me at a much lesser level of maturity as I've grown, and I don't want to hold anything against my friend Katie for being where she's at in her life. This is a good time, 28, 27, somewhere around that age. It's a good time to be alive, and I don't expect her to have her energy right, but because of it, I got to step up and be the mature man to say, yo, this is where we at, this is what we're doing, that's not. And so I hadn't necessarily done that until today, but God bless me, I found the courage to get it right without all the manic energy that I've been feeling these last couple days. So yeah, man, that's what I'm saying to y'all. Took my eyes off the ball, but please pay attention to what's going on in Gaza. Please pay attention to what's going on in the Congo. Please pay attention to things that really matter in this world outside of your own problems. The devil will always try to distract you or derail you from what your purpose is. But even in the process of doing so, if your prayer life is on straight, he won't be able to do so for long. And even in the process of your distraction, the Lord will put some substance in what it is that you're doing while distracted. And that's what I know he's doing. And so, I haven't been looking at what's going on these last 12 hours. I don't know. I know they had been attacking refugee camps as of late. That's what I was seeing was happening there. Israeli, insurgents that come in, boots on the ground, and start targeting civilians driving around in the streets. That's what I've been seeing. And, I'm so very dejected and traumatized and sad and angry for everybody who's going through that. Every Palestinian child that's been lost. I've seen a list of names and their ages. It was like 7 pages long. So many 1s, 2s, 5s, 6s. I mean, it's just the worst travesty of my life. And I know speaking on it is the right thing to do, even though we're living in a country where nobody who has a real voice, it seems, big platform wants to do so in the name of those kids, man. And I don't care for the dystopian behavior. I'm afraid to talk on it because it can mess up my image. I'm afraid because I don't want to be on the wrong side of history and this is that. I don't care about none of that, man. I promise you I don't give a shit about that, because I know what the right side of history is, and that's on the side of these children. That's on the side of the martyred and those who are suffering. Seeing so many images of kids with their faces, destroyed by the bombs. And, I saw a child with his leg broken and a compound fracture poking through his calf, like the type of stuff. And they suffering without anesthesia and without the ability to properly clean these wounds. I mean, it's just suffering, man. It's unbelievable, devastating suffering that is sanctioned by law and by a superpower that I happen to live in the country of. And I speak against it, man. I have love in my heart for people, man. And I don't understand the propaganda that a lot of people have bought into of racism and pointed at Palestinian people. Footage of people in Israel celebrating the bombings. But then I look over and I say there's a group of people here who celebrate things happening to black people. And if you put a camera on them, you can make it look like it's the whole country too. I know that ain't the whole country. It's just the evil in it. And so there are people who are evil everywhere. There are groups of people who agree that certain people should be discarded of. And if you look close enough, you can find them in every country. And I just don't believe that Israel is full of people who agree with this. In fact, I'm willing to bet it's more of them who don't than do, despite the propaganda machine trying to turn them into people that would support that. I saw some footage yesterday in the midst of my crap, what I was thinking about and dealing with. I saw footage of it looked like individuals hunting. It looked like they were running through an airport or something, and they appeared to be hunting Israeli people, try to beat them up, tear them apart. I think that was fake, man. If you saw the footage I saw, I think that was staged by Israel. I think it's yet another one of those things that they're doing to try to reinforce that they are the victims. Like, look at these people, they're attacking us. It sounded like they were saying Allah, but they didn't sound like they had the accent that I had been listening to in all these footage that I've been hearing of people who are actually, speaking of Allah. No, it sounds like Israelis saying Allah over and over again as they're running through airports, seemingly looking to attack people, even though there was no actual footage of them anybody attacking anyone. And then you look in the comment section and you can see the Israeli reinforcement comments, and they were just so exaggeratedly bad acting FUD type comments that just help you understand that this is them, because they are always talking at you. They're not actually speaking to anyone. They're just talking at you about what it is. Oh, they're looking to tear us apart. See, this is why it's like, I get it, bro. I get it. Y'all are not good at this. You have to understand that you're not good at this. They need to understand that they really, really suck at manipulating things in regards to the internet. They don't hide their energy well. They don't fake it well. They're not good liars, man. And so that's just one of those things I just wanted to say, man. They're quick to, compromise the comment section, but the problem is they look like they're reading scripts. They look like they're reinforcing in an exaggerated way the support that otherwise they're hoping to receive. And at the end of the day, it's easy to read. It's just very easy to read through and see through, man. So I just want people to know that I think that was set up by them. This is another one of those. And I expect them to continue to do stuff like that to reinforce that everybody's after them because they have a victim complex over there. They'll never again, it's never going to happen to us again, while they're going around victimizing everybody, particularly Palestinian children, in the name of protecting themselves. And that type of evil is so brazen in its behavior that it doesn't know how to turn that off, even in the midst of trying to fake it. So the whole world is on to them, man, and they're not good at what they're trying to do, just being honest. So yeah, I just want everybody who follows me to look for that type of stuff, because they are prone to do that. And they're going to try to make it look like everybody's after them. They're going to try to make it look like Arab people are attacking them. They're going to try to make it look like every damn thing but what the truth is, which is they are the aggressors, and they're trying to annihilate children and everyone just for the sake of their own nonsense. That's exactly what they're doing. And so that's what it is, man. Or at least that's what I perceive it to be. That's what it looks like. And so I just want to reinforce my relationship with God. You know, I believe in God. I believe that he put me in this position to have this voice. At this point, I believe he put me in a position to have gone through what I've gone through so that my faith would be as strong as it is. I believe that he has put out fires around me that I otherwise would have started in situations in my personal life that could have made my relationships and friendships worse. I believe that he put in me a sense of respect that my own demons have been on display at times, and that I need to continue to pray that he get the evil out of me, no different than anybody else does. And I feel like that's the type of thing that has led to me being on the right side of this conversation when I speak out when everybody else isn't. I believe the Lord put me in some positions to respect some things as of late that otherwise I needed to respect in order to really relate to some people who don't have a lot. And I wouldn't change my life for anything now that I'm in this position. I'm struggling my behind off, my mental health, with my financial health, with my, love life, I guess you could say. I'm struggling in every way of my life. But at the end of the day, I love myself more than I ever have before. I trust my God more than I ever have before. I believe in the goodness in people despite not seeing too much of it in certain cases. And I know that the Lord is continuing to level me up spiritually as I meditate on his grace and on his love in my life, and the concepts of him bringing to me what is meant for me, him helping me navigate through whatever fog is out here, him allowing me to influence others to get closer to him, and then from there him doing that for them. I believe in that, man. I believe in that. And I don't want anybody to think for 1 second that I'm okay with going back to being the way that I was, or that I think anybody should be taking steps back in their progression toward love. God is love. Get closer to him, man. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I don't care what everybody thinks. The only thing that's going to really help you through your trauma and through your drama is a belief in something greater than yourself. Now, what you call him, how you get to him, not my business. But you do benefit greatly as a human being for having a entity in your heart that you believe can bring forth good things back to you from within the trauma or the drama or whatever it is that you're going through, to keep going, man. It's not natural for us to not believe in nothing and then try to take on the world's ills by ourselves. It's not the human condition. A lot of us believe that is the only way because you don't believe in nothing, but I'm telling you, that's not natural. You're supposed to be able to believe in something greater than yourself so you can navigate the unknown. And so I encourage everybody to seek that, meditate on that, give that some real consideration if you refuse to, because it is really what is getting me through these difficulties and helping me manage what should be managed in my own personal life. And so that's what I want to say. I'm seeing that great displays of faith in those who are suffering. And those who often don't show that faith or don't engage in that faith often turn into those who inflict suffering upon others. So let that be something that seeps into your soul as you listen to me. It's that belief in God that will keep you from turning into a monster. And a lot of people are turning into monsters by way of their own pain because they don't believe in something greater themselves, or they're not intentional on sacrificing to make that happy. You know what I mean? That for which is greater than them, at peace with their existence. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to burn all the bridges the enemy has toward me, get all the evil out of my own heart, pray the prayers necessary to be unselfish, speak the words necessary to leave back a great legacy, refrain from certain behaviors that otherwise make me less clean. All of that is to help myself heal through the circumstances that I've allowed not doing so to ultimately coerce me into. And that's what it is that I want my friend K to do as well. Not walk away from God throughout the course of being hurt, but get closer to him, so that he can help manifest greatness from within that hurt, and love and support for others from within that hurt. So that's what I want to say, man. I'm prayerful, and I'm intentional on doing that with my own pain. So I appreciate everybody for rocking with me, continuing to allow me to do what it is that I do on here. I'm going to continue to try to lend my voice to what I feel is best and meditate on those things so that I'm getting them out the right way. I'm sober throughout the course of these circumstances. I'm not high, I'm not drinking, I'm not drugging, nothing. All of this is cold turkey sober. And I'm better for it, man. And I think you will be better for making the sacrifices in your life necessary to be as clean as possible too. Lust and all these different things, they cloud your heart, they cloud your mind, they distract you, and they leave you in a position to where you will use your time differently, prioritize things differently, than otherwise would make it so that you could be clear of thought to navigate through this world without those distractions that are in place to more or less attach themselves to those desires. And so that's what I know, man. Get y'all souls right, get closer to God. We don't know what kind of times we're in or what's ahead, but I can tell you a lot of what's out there is meant to do the opposite of what I just described, and ultimately leave us all dead inside as well as in our lives eventually. So that's what I wanted to say, man. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I'm going to continue to meditate. I'm going to listen to this in prayer. And that's what I got. BDF 44. I thank you all for watching, and I'm out.